Good morning. How y'all doing? My name is Mr. Bailey.
He said he was gonna put a word in for me with Dr.
I've been
Staley.
knowing Malik for some time now, and if you don't know his story, all right, he was kind of in a situation like you guys, was in public school, had some things that went on, life happened. He wound up being out of school, and then he did what he needed to do to put himself back in school. Graduated, even though, excuse me, young lady, even though it's from alternative school, graduated. He's a hip hop artist. He does this working with fine young ladies and young men. So can we give it up, please, for Mr. Malik? All right, now, I'm not gonna be before you guys long. Again, my name is Mr. Bailey. I'm a former dean of students at Orr Academy. Former college head basketball coach at Malcolm X and Truman College. Also a teacher, mentor. I've been knowing Mr. Clayton for about 25 years. Now I actually taught Mr. Clayton's oldest son. I actually taught Mr. Clayton's oldest son. So y'all know Mr. Clayton pretty well, like family to me. But here's what I want to ask you all first of all. How many people in here by a show of hands? How many people in here by a show of hands has a goal that they want to reach when they are an adult? Who has a goal that they want to reach when they are an adult? Raise your hand.
Just be everybody.
That's what I'm looking for, Malik. Okay, so that's everybody. So now we should all be in agreement. You put your hands down, ladies in the back. So we should all be in agreement that we got something that we're looking forward to. Is that right? Yes or yes? Okay. So how many of y'all have heard of the song? I think it's Young Jock, Meet Me in the Trap. Any of y'all heard that song?
Meet me
Right,
in the
remember how it
trap.
go?
It's going down.
Right, meet me in the
Yeah,
trap, right? It's going down, right? Meet me in the hood.
I'm not a good cameraman.
Okay, so now, by show of hands, who can tell me
I just thought about
what
this song.
the trap means? Somebody, Jack? Excuse me. What does trap mean?
No, about the trap.
It's a house we hustle at.
Hold on. Okay, house in the hood where the gangbangers be, where they sell their drugs at. Elijah, you gonna say something?
Can't make some.
Say the same thing. My man in the back. Which one of y'all said it in the back? Say it again. Okay. House you. So the trap is a house that you hustle out of, right? And do different things that's probably not legal, right? So if you knew that, if you knew that the trap, being in the trap, that it was some consequences that came along with the trap, how many of y'all would still want to meet somebody in the trap? Okay, all right, so now let's understand this. I kind of remixed the trap, because y'all just told me what the trap is, right? How many people, show of hands, Malik covered it a little bit, show of hands, how many people have lost someone that they know to gun violence in the last 5 years? Raise your hand. Okay. In the last year, raise your hand. The last 6 months? Last 3 months?
Nope.
Last month? Last week? Last night?
Say for real?
Okay. The first T in the trap is trauma. And that's why we here, right? And y'all kind of said y'all seen violence, y'all been through bullying, you've seen people get killed. You know, my man here eloquently spoke about his family member. So all that's trauma. So you have to understand that if we had a board in the trap house, it's trauma. That's the biggest thing in the trap house, trauma. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, with the trauma comes an inability to think. When you faced with trauma, how many people have taken a test that they knew they was gonna fail, but they had to take it anyway? Raise your hand. That's a slight form of, listen, that's a slight form of trauma. When you're facing trauma, you're not able to think correctly. So we got trauma, and then the R in trap is resistance. Who knows what resistance is? Yes, ma'am. When you refuse to do something, that's close. All right? Anybody know what resistance is? Okay. Who woke up this morning and didn't want to get out of bed? That's resistance. Right? When you know that you have to do something, when you know you got to do something, but something is pulling you from doing it, that's resistance. When you want to do that homework, but your girl keep texting you, or your homeboy keep texting you, or notifications keep going off, and you keep looking at your phone instead of doing your homework, that's resistance. So when we're in a trap, if we face with trauma in the trap, and now, because we all in the trap, and everybody dealing with trauma, right? So now everybody in here is in the trap, and they're dealing with trauma. So now, can the young ladies in the back overcome the resistance of the people next to them talking to them? Can they overcome the resistance of not paying attention? And what'll happen, your girl or your boy will send you off, and you'll get faced with the resistance. They're like, come on, let's go over here and sell this jab. Or come on, let's go over here and stick them up. Or let's go over here and stomp her out. But because you can't deal with resistance, you go through it. But you already said, if you know that you're going to meet somebody in the trap, you get faced with consequences, you probably wouldn't do it. So part of that is dealing with the resistance. So in the trap, we got trauma. And then we got the resistance. But now here's the biggest thing, right? Like, you know, when your teacher say you got this assignment to do, and you're like, I don't want to do it. And then you know what happened? That phase, you know, girls make that phase, or guys sometimes, new age guys, y'all smack y'all lips, right? Got it? So listen. And I tell you, side note, no guys should smack their lips. All right? But now, so we got trauma. We got resistance. And then the A of the trap is your attitude. So now, everybody in the trap dealing with trauma. Some of the people in the trap can't deal with the resistance of what I'm supposed to do, what I shouldn't do, am I going? So another way to look at resistance can be peer pressure. But now the A is your attitude. How are you responding when that teacher say, put your phone down? How are you responding when the teacher say, stop cursing? How are you responding when your mama say, do the dishes? How are you responding when you got to do a homework assignment? How do you respond when you hear the word no? So now the attitude comes in. So again, we got everybody in the trap. Everybody dealing with trauma. Or in y'all schools, everybody dealing with trauma. Y'all can't overcome resistance. Excuse me, young lady. You have an issue overcoming resistance, so now guess what you do? You catch your attitude. You catch your attitude because you couldn't deal with the resistance of doing what you were supposed to do, and now we can't effectively deal with your trauma. So now your attitude is ultimately what helps you escape the trap. I'm going to say that slow. Your attitude is really what helps you escape the trap. So you can be like, yeah, you know, I heard him when he talked about gangs, you know, yeah, you know, I'm GD, I'm BD, I'm right, Blackstone, Vice Lord, all that, right? But your attitude, right, is so, how can you have goals that you want to achieve when you an adult, but your attitude is it's cool to gangbang? How you gonna get to that goal that you got if your attitude is bad? And now, do anybody know why most of us got a bad attitude? And I'm saying us, see how I'm saying me. Do anybody? Okay. Elijah. Why do most people have a bad attitude?
They're so used to people talking to them wrong.
Did y'all hear that? I'm coming to you in a second. Most people have an attitude because they so used to people talking to them wrong. This is a side note. Promise to God. On Thanksgiving, I went in the grocery store because I had to get something. My wife wanted me to get something, right? Don't go to the grocery store on Thanksgiving, right? But I walked in the grocery store, and now everybody posting on social media and everything. Happy Thanksgiving, be thankful for everything. Everybody that I made eye contact with in the grocery store that day, I promise to God. I said, hey, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. I spoke to about 20 people in the store. Only 3 people spoke back and said Happy Thanksgiving. But see, they'd go back home and say, I'm thankful and all that. Like, are you not thankful for the ability to talk? Does that make sense? To anybody? Right? Because if you say Happy Thanksgiving back, you're thankful for your ability to talk. So what Elijah just said is 100% true, and I'm coming to you in a second. Most people are used to people being mean to them. Would y'all agree with that? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Never mind. He's just gonna say the same stuff.
Okay. So now, people not mean, people not nice to us. Have y'all ever heard the term hurt people? Somebody finish your vote.
Hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people. Right? So the P in the trap stands for pain. Because we, excuse me, young lady. Now watch this. She didn't catch an attitude when I said, excuse me, young lady. She had a good attitude about it. She had a good attitude about it. She didn't, right? So I didn't have to say nothing else to her. Does that make sense? Normally if a teacher says something based on your attitude, remember I said your attitude is how you get out the trap, right? But if she would have been like, and that's what happened, your teacher say, put your head up. Or your teacher say, take your hood off. Your teacher say, take your hat off. And then you be like, MF, and I was the dean. I received all them write-ups to say all like, what happened? Man, the teacher told me put my head up. Well, what's going on? And you know what the pain was? They was hungry. They was hungry. Because they live in a trap house where it's nothing but trauma. They can't deal with the resistance of not seeing their baby brother or their baby sister get fed or make it to school the next day. So they got to be the mother and the father. So now they got a bad attitude when the teacher say, take your hood off, because they in pain, because really they just hungry and sleepy. So when y'all can understand those 4 points, you'll never go in the trap. When you can understand that we all deal with trauma, but it's how can we effectively communicate and overcome that. And when you understand that we all deal with resistance, and my young ladies in the back, I've been on y'all, but I give compliments also. I can appreciate y'all done toned it down, something that I done said done clicked, and y'all all focused right now. That's overcoming resistance. When you can overcome the resistance and fix your attitude, you can go anywhere you want. Because I believe one of them said it when they was talking earlier. And now they standing up here helping y'all. 2 or 3 years ago, they was probably in y'all same situation. Trauma, resistance. How do you deal with your attitude from that? Somebody just smacked their lips right on cue. Right? But Elijah said the reason why most people are mean, and I want y'all to understand, because y'all know hurt people. Because most people talk bad to people. Most people talk bad to other people because they're in pain. Think about it. But now, you can use your pain, here's the last point. You can use your pain 2 ways. All right? Has anybody ever ate potato salad? Yes or no? Barbecue time? Yes or no? Anybody ever ate a boiled egg? Yes or no? Okay, so now, what has to happen to an egg in order for it to be hard boiled? So, what does boil mean? Bubble, water, so cooked how?
On the stove.
In what?
Water.
In a pot. That's what in the trap.
Okay, hot water. So boiling is with an egg, you're gonna put it in the hot water, right? Right? Okay, so listen. Water
Water and
boiling water, right, is gonna harden a boiled egg, correct? What is boiling water gonna do to a piece of ice?
melt it.
Right? So listen, that same boiling water has the ability to do two different things, right? It can make you, that pain can make you shrivel up and disappear. Or it can make you get harder and deal with the resistance so that you can be a better person. Right? I don't know if y'all, Wacker probably know his story a little bit. I'm not sure if he's ever told it with y'all. But here's somebody who lost a parent. So he could have took that pain and said, I'm gonna go take somebody else's parent. Or he could have used that pain to be in here saying, I'm gonna help somebody so when they become a parent, they'll understand how their kid may feel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to use your pain for your benefit. So are you gonna be that egg or are you gonna be that piece of ice? That's what you gotta figure out. Somebody said piece of ice, right? And that's fine. But if you just want to disappear and don't be relevant in society, then be that. All right, but I want to thank y'all for y'all time. Remember, when we talk about the trap, if this whole room is a trap, we all dealing with trauma. Can you overcome the resistance of your trauma? And now how does your attitude reflect that resistance? And then finally, you got to understand, as Elijah said, people are mean to us because they have pain. Hurt people hurt people. So are you going to use your pain to make you be a fool? Or are you going to use your pain to create your future? All right? My name is Carville Bailey. All right, thank you.